Hey guys, it's Rob here, and I'm here with my movie podcast. Now, this channel does movie news, and I do it every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Central. So if you want to know the latest movie news that happened during the week, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification to get it every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Central. Without further delay, let's get on to the news. So, in our first bit of news, I have an update for you on the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie. Now, if you didn't know, James Gunn and Alan Horn met not too long ago to actually decide his fate on whether he will direct the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or not. And they decided that he won't be directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, if you remember, Taika Waititi actually directed Thor Ragnarok, and that was very much in line with the Guardians of the Galaxy-esque type of movie. The jokes everywhere, the bright colors, the music, everything that about Thor Ragnarok screamed Guardians of the Galaxy. So a lot of people want Taika Waititi to actually direct the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 if James Gunn can't direct it. Now, the news that I want to talk about is that we recently learned that the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will be actually postponed because they don't have a director. Now, they really don't even have to look that far. They just have to look in their own universe. Look at Thor Ragnarok. That was very much a Guardians of the Galaxy type movie. So get Taika Waititi for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I guarantee it could even be better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And in my opinion, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was just bad. There was so many problems with that movie that I won't get into, but I think they should get him for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because I think he would be an extremely good fit for that movie. Sticking with the Marvel character news, we actually have some Venom news. Now, Tom Hardy is Venom, of course, you already know that. But what you didn't know is that he actually signed up for 3 movies. Now, this is pretty surprising because Sony doesn't know if this movie is going to do good or not. Now, they could be going off the trailer reactions, which, for the most part, a lot of people love these trailers. It is very much Venom. We finally got the look of Venom down. Now, remember, in the original Raimi Spider-Man series, that Venom was just bad. There's so much wrong with that Venom. But in this new Venom, we actually got a comic book accurate Venom. And I think that's what's driving Sony. I think this is why they signed on for 3 films. Now, is this a good thing? Is this a good thing that they signed on for 3 films? Because if you remember, they also had the Spider-Man universe. Now, this shows a lot of confidence in the Venom property, the Venom universe, the Venomverse, whatever you want to call it. This shows that Sony does have actual confidence in this movie. This could be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing because it means, well, you have confidence in your product. When a company has confidence in your product, it means that it's gonna do good most of the time. Most of the time it's good. Now, this could be a bad thing because if you remember, they actually had confidence in the previous Spider-Man-esque universe, and that they had a whole bunch of things planned. They had a Sinister Six, they had all of these plans for this universe, and it ended up failing. So we'll have to see what happens with this universe. If Venom is actually good and they end up pulling it off without Spider-Man, I think it's going to be a very, very special movie. But if it ends up doing bad, I think things are just going to go downhill for Sony. Now, moving on to the DC side of things, we actually got some new photos for the DC streaming service, DC Comics show, Titans. You probably know already my opinion on this. I've done a video on it, and I've shared my distaste for the Starfire outfit and a lot of the DC Titans show stuff. But we actually got some pretty good pictures and some bad pictures from the DC streaming service stream that happened yesterday, which I'll be doing a video on later so you guys can know everything that happened in that. But these photos are pretty good. Now, the good ones are Robin, Beast Boy, and sort of Raven. Now, Raven, I think the doll was a little too much. She's holding a doll that you should be cycling through the pictures right now. She's holding this doll, and there's crosses in the background. And sure, the crosses, I can deal with that. I think they put a little bit too much crosses, but that's just me. But the doll was a little bit too much. Now, Starfire looks bad. That costume is still horrible. The fur coat, the shiny purple suit, it's all horrible. Now, the problem with this is that the actor has come out and said that's only for a scene that's happening in the first episode where she's come back from a nightclub. But the problem is that this is the narrative. The narrative is that this is her costume that she's going to be fighting in. You need to change the narrative. Narrative is extremely strong in today's movie news and movie deals and how a show does. So what you need to do, DC and WB, is that you need to come out with an actual picture of what she's going to be fighting in. You need to change the narrative, because if the narrative is mostly negative about your show when it comes out, it's not going to do well. It is not going to do well. You're going to get bad reviews, and the show's going to fall off, and it's going to hurt your streaming service that you're trying to set up. Look, I know you probably want to surprise people or some reason like that. You want to prove people wrong, but you need to change this narrative, because it's going to hurt your Titans TV show. We saw the set photos. We saw the official pictures. All these pictures are pointing to this costume that's on screen right now. So in our next bit of movie news, we actually have a rumor for the dceu Supergirl movie. Now, if you haven't watched my video on that, I did a video explaining how they could actually introduce the Supergirl into the dceu, which should pop up right here. Now, the new rumor that just came out not too long ago is that Reed Morano is actually going to be directing the Supergirl movie. Now, she did win an Emmy for her Handmaiden TV show, which is great. So they got someone who actually has previous talent that actually shows that she can actually make good content, which is great. So DC is continuing to get this trend on getting people who have proven in the past that they can actually, direct, that can make good content, which is good. Look, do we need a Supergirl movie right now? No. But 20 years ago, did we really think that we would need a Black Panther movie or an Avengers Infinity War movie or any movie that came out recently that 20 years ago we didn't think we would actually want? So do we need a Supergirl movie? In my opinion, we probably don't. But it could end up being really good. Look, I think we as a film community don't know what we want. We don't know what we want until we actually get it. This happens over and over and over again, where we think that we don't know what we want, but then when we get it, we actually end up loving it. Those are some of the best movies that have come out that we really don't know or expecting what we wanted to have. So I think having a Supergirl movie might be a good idea, but on the other side of my brain, I think it's a bad idea. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens, but for now, this is just a rumor, so take it as you will. And in our next bit of news, it's about the Joker origin film. Now, I know a lot of people's opinions about this movie, but the recent news that we've recently got about this is that Alec Baldwin will not be playing in this movie anymore. Previously this week, we actually learned that he was hired for a role in the Joker origin film, and recently we learned that he's actually out of the Joker origin film. Now, this is due to scheduling issues. This is not really a loss for the film, because the film already has so much talent behind it. Todd Phillips and all those great actors that they've already added. Zazie Beetz and just so many great talent that will make this movie really good. Or at least the performances for the characters in this movie really good. Now, who could they hire to replace him? I really don't know, because his role was pretty small and not that big. So we'll see what happens going forward, but so far the movie is shaping up to be extremely good. Now, usually there would actually be news coming out that, oh, it was creative differences or some stupid thing like that, but this is just scheduling issues, so it's not that much of a big deal in my opinion anyways. And in our last bit of news, we have some news on A Quiet Place sequel. Now, this sequel is going to be coming out, what was the May 15th, 2020. That was the date. It's coming out May 15th, 2020, and this is really great. Now, I hope for this sequel that it's going to be focusing on a different family. Now, in the previous one, it focused on one family in one location, and I think they can do something really special if they focus on a different part of the planet where it would be very different. In different parts, you would have to find different ways to survive, different ways to keep quiet. So I think they should focus on a different family in a different area, because it would be very different. Now, if they don't do that, I hope they don't start off the movie where they left off in the previous movie. I hope there's a time skip, because I don't think I want to see them turn this movie into a sort of action monster killing movie, because that's what the beginning of the movie would be. It would have to have them fight their way out of that mass horde of enemies that was coming after them at the end of the movie. If you saw my review for this movie, which title card should pop up right here, or right here, I'm not even sure which way it is because I don't have the camera preview on the screen. But if you watch my review, I did not like the ending because it felt very much unfinished. Don't get me wrong, the movie was very good. It was very, very good. But the way it ended kind of felt cheap and pretty much unfinished. So I hope that doesn't happen for the sequel, and I hope they actually focus on a different family, having different survival techniques. And that will do it for the movie news that's happened this week. Now, there was probably a lot of them that I missed, or some of them that were pretty smaller and not really worth mentioning. But tell me what you think about all this news. Are you happy that Guardians of the Galaxy is finding a new director and they're postponing it? Or are you mad at that? Are you happy with the Titans trailer? Are you happy with the sequel for A Quiet Place? Tell me your thoughts about this week's movie news down below, and I will see you guys next time at Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Central. And if you want this video right when it comes out, hit that bell notification so you know when I upload. And I will be doing a movie review that will be released tomorrow, so look forward to that. Thanks for watching my episode 1 of Movie News Roundup, where I get all the movie that happened the previous week and put it on one video for your convenience. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you're actually still watching this, which is amazing in itself, hit that subscribe button for more of these videos. And thank you for the people who have subscribed so far. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch my videos. And as always, have a good one.